and welcome back to Literally Yours. Um, in this video, we are going to continue with the poem A Doctor's Journal Entry for August 6, 1945. This is in continuation of a previous video. So if you haven't watched that first part, please go in the description and you'll find the link to that video. So we in the last video we had discussed the context of the poem, why Vikram Seth chose the date August 6, 1945, what is the significance of that date, and why a doctor's persona has been taken, as well as we discussed the overall context of the poem regarding the date, how it is related, what exactly happened, and then we went on to discuss the first 14 lines of the poem as well as the poetic devices. So without any further delay, let's start this video, and we are going to directly jump into the lines. So from line number 15 we are going to start the line by line analysis or discussion. So the next few lines are where was my wife? Alarmed, I gave a shout. Where are you, Yakusan? My blood gushed out. The artery in my neck? Scared for my life, I called out, panic stricken, to my wife. So to just recap what had happened before this, the doctor was relaxing on his bed, watching from his window the shimmering leaves and the shadows, and then all of a sudden he saw two flashes. While he was, it happened so soon, while he was debating whether they are magnesium flares or not, his whole world, according to him, collapsed. The roofs, the walls, everything just collapsed. He was dislodged like a glass piece into the garden, and weirdly his dress, he was already half clad, but weirdly his dress it got disappeared. He didn't understand why, but his undershirt and his pant, they disappeared. So he's sitting in the in the garden now and wondering what has happened, and he notices that he is very heavily injured. So right after this moment, when he notices that he's injured and he's sitting in the garden, the next thought that comes to him all of a sudden is that where is his wife? So he gets very panicky, he gets very tensed, and he calls out to her. The name of the wife has been given here as a Yeko. In Japan, we use the word san as a mark of respect. So when he's saying Yeko san, that means the name of the woman is Yeko, and he's referring to her in a respectful manner by calling out to her as Yeko san. And he was very much alarmed while he was shouting out to the wife, because obviously when such a great deal of destruction has just now happened, obviously the first thought that comes to our mind is, where is our loved one? So in the same way, the doctor is also having the same reaction. So he's very much panicked. So when he actually gave a shout, the blood from his cheek, it gushed out, and from his neck. So he's a doctor, so while he is also panic stricken, his logical mind is also kind of working. So he tries to think from where this blood is coming out, whether is it the artery in his neck. So the artery in the neck is called carotid, and it's a very important artery. If you are if you are ever hurt in the carotid artery, you can lose your life in a matter of minutes. So that's why he's actually kind of very panicked right now. When the blood gushed out from his neck, he tries to understand whether it is from his neck or not, because if that is the case, then he needs to hurry up, and because he will die if he's not taking care of that injury soon. Right, he was scared for his life, as he's saying. But even in that situation, the first thing that he does is that he calls out to his wife. So even when he is scared for his life, the first thought that comes to his mind is that where my wife is. The next few lines goes, pale, blood-stained, frightened, Yeko-san emerged, holding her elbow. We'll be fine, I urged. Let's get out quickly. Stumbling to the street, we fell, tripped by something at our feet. So in here, when he calls out to his wife, the wife comes out, and she is very panic stricken, and she's blood stained, she's frightened, and she is pale. She has been compared to a very pale colored person, because when it is a very famous idiomatic expression that he got pale, he got white as sheet, right? So that shows the fear. When you are afraid, your face loses its color. So Yoko-san is very pale over here. She's bloodstained and she's frightened, and she comes out and she's holding her elbow, that indicating that she might have got hurt over there when the roof and the walls collapsed. Now here we see a change in the demeanor of the doctor. He is very much panic stricken, but outside he's trying to calm his wife down. So it shows that the kind of spirit, human spirit, like even in time of chaos and in time of any kind of crisis, even though we ourselves might be scared out of our minds, but when we see someone even more distressed than we are, it is our human nature, it is our nature to assure them, to make them calm down. So he does the same. The tone of the doctor immediately changes. He urged to her that we will be fine, don't worry about it. Even though he is heavily injured, she's injured, even though the situation is very bleak, he is trying to give her some amount of courage and hope that we'll be fine. And he says, let's get out quickly from here, because obviously if the roof and the walls have collapsed, maybe there might be some more impact waiting for them. So he just wants to take her out of that place. They both want to get out of that place as soon as possible. And while they were walking out of that place, they stumbled into the street and fell. They tripped over something and they fell. So there was something at their feet on which they stumbled, and they fell. So if what is it, that is what we are going to figure out in the next few lines. So before we move on to the next part, let me just write down the words that are important over here, or the meaning of the words. So here the word, I think pale would be one word. Pale is light colored or without any color. That is pale. Then we have urge. Requested. Then stumble or stumbling over here. So to get stuck on something and then fall, that is the meaning of stumbling. And even the word trip has the same meaning. And when your feet get stuck on something and you fall because of that, that is the meaning of stumble as well as a trip. So moving forward in the next few lines, I gasped out when I saw it was a head. Excuse me, please excuse me. He was dead. A gate had crushed him. There we stood afraid. So here the doctor and the wife Yeko-san, they are moving out and they fell over something, and when they realized, okay, they gasped out. Okay, the doctor gasped out. Gasp is a very sharp inhale of breath that you take through your mouth when you are very much shocked. Like this is called a gasp. So the doctor was so shocked to see what it was. It was actually a head. Now here the next few lines actually show the kind of distress, the kind of trauma that they are in. Both of them, they start to say to that head, excuse me, please excuse me. Like they wanted to let the person, this head, out of their way. And that's why, just like we do when we are crossing someone and there's no space for us to cross, we say excuse me, and we move on so that we get the space to move, right? So they're doing the same. So they are in a state of such a utter shock and dismay, disarray, that they don't realize that what they are saying, or they are saying excuse me to actually a head, and then lastly it does dawn on them that he was dead. So it took them some time to realize that this head that they were speaking to, saying excuse me, was actually a severed or a cut off head, and that the person was dead. And then they saw what had killed him. A gate had crushed him. There we stood afraid. So the doctor and the wife, they realized that the head is actually a severed head, cut head. And how did that person actually die? A gate had fallen over him and had severed the head off, and it had crushed him. And that's why they got very much shocked and afraid of that scene, that there's a head in front of them which is severed from the body, right? So moving forward, a house standing before us tilted, swayed, toppled, and crashed. Fire sprang up in the dust, spread by the wind. It dawned on us we must get to the hospital. We needed aid. And I should help my staff too. Though this made sense to me then, I wonder how I could. So, in here, when they realize that the head is actually a severed head, just in front of them, during that time they saw that a house was there that was tilting, that was shifting towards one side. Okay, swayed, it was swaying, it was moving, and then it toppled. It started to move in a more speed. It started to topple, and then finally it crashed, and it all happened in a matter of minutes. So, and then as soon as the building crashed in front of them, fire sprang up in the dust and spread by the wind. So because of the impact, or because of maybe any kind of issue that might have been there in the building, because of that crash, the fire sprang up. Okay, so it was not maybe something might have exploded, maybe some electrical fire or gas fire, we do not know what exactly, but there was a fire, and it got spread by the wind as well, so it grew as well. And then when this happened, it dawned on us. So if you will see a lot of realizations hitting them one after the other, and it is taking some time for all of these realizations to come to them, because again, these two people, or maybe if we are just focusing on the doctor, they are in a state of disarray. They are not able to grasp what has happened, so it is taking, they're slow. When we are totally in our senses, everything works perfectly. We can make logical decisions one after the other, we can understand what is happening, and we can move forward accordingly. But when something such big level of destruction has happened, they are so much dislodged. If you can, this has a reflection back to the line when he compares himself with a detached piece of glass. So he is or both of them, they are in such a state of shock. It is, they are not able to they're not able to gauge what exactly they can do, what are the provisions that they have. So it finally dawned on them, they realized that we must get to the hospital. We needed aid. Both of them were injured, the doctor more so than the wife, right? So they realized that this is the time that we should go to the hospital, because we need some help, medical help, and I should help my staff too. And this is when he realizes that he's a doctor who probably runs a hospital or a clinic, and he has staff over there. And he realized that he should help his the staff that is employed by him. And then in brackets, it is written, though this made sense to me then, I wonder how I could. So now this is a journal entry. The doctor probably has survived, and now he's writing down from his memory what exactly happened. So this is a present thought that has come. That is why he's including it in a bracket, that it made sense to me that yes, I have to help my staff, but I wonder how I could, because I myself was so heavily injured. How will I help my staff? So it was a sensible or a logical thought at that time, but now I understand that maybe I wouldn't have been able to help my staff, because I myself was very much injured. So let's look at the words that are here. So we have tilted. Tilted means to shift to one side. Then we have swayed, moved. toppled, to fall. And lastly, crashed. I don't think we need to know. Then we have, I don't think so there are any more words still here, so I think maybe we can move forward. So after that, he saw, when he realized that he needs to go to the hospital, he starts to walk probably, and he realizes that his legs are so heavily injured that he's not able to walk. So he's saying, my legs gave way. I sat down on the ground. Thirst seized me, but no water could be found. My breath was short, but bit by bit my strength seemed to revive, and I got up at length. So he's saying that when he started to walk towards the hospital, his legs gave way. Here, legs have been personified. Legs cannot give up on themselves. It's the brain, right? It's the whole person who is the human, not one leg. It cannot have a life of its own. So the leg here has been personified and said that the legs gave up, the legs gave way. I sat down on the ground. He couldn't continue anymore. He sat down on the ground. And again, thirst has been personified here. Thirst seized me. He was feeling thirsty, and that has been portrayed in such a way that thirst was someone who was trying to seize him by the neck, right? So thirst seized him, but no water could be found. There was no water around him. My breath was short. He was panting. He was panting like this. He was feeling short of breath, but bit by bit my strength seemed to revive. So when we are very much tired, if we sit down, we relax for some time, then we can gain back our strength, we can gain back our breath, right? So my strength seemed to revive, my strength seemed to, regain. And again, then I got up at length. I got up on my two feet, right? So this is where we are going to stop in this video, and we are going to discuss about the poetic devices just like the last video. And again, in the next part we will be discussing the rest part of the poem that is left, right? So let us first very quickly glance at the words that are left to be discussed. So here we have seized. Seized, actually, it is generally it is used when someone is taking control over someone else. It is used in military concepts, but here seized also means take control of or take hold of someone or something. Then we have revive, regain strength, or just regain. Then we have lastly at length. It's like a phrase, at length. It is to stand up straight. So this is where we are stopping. Now we'll discuss each of the poetic devices that we have come across so far, right? So here I think the only main poetic device that has been used in all these lines are the two personifications towards the end that we have just now discussed. Legs gave way, that is a personification, legs giving up, and thirst seized me, that is also a personification. So personification is a poetic device that is used to give human qualities to non-living objects or things. So here both leg and thirst, which are, thirst is an abstract concept and leg is not on its own a living thing, right? So legs giving up and thirst seizing are the personifications. Thirst seized me and legs gave way. These are the two personifications and the two major poetic devices used by the poet in this. When we reach the last part of the video, when we reach the, I think, fourth or fifth part of the video, we will also discuss why such poetic devices have been used. So stay tuned for that. So that is all for this video. I hope you are learning better. If you need any other extra help, you can always let me know in the comment section. And if you know someone who might need a little bit of extra help in these chapters, don't forget to share, and obviously subscribe to Literary Yours.